Hey, everybody, welcome back to Wrist.
The wardrobe.
All right, guys, nice to see you again. I had to take some time to work on this hairline. It looks really good. If you're over 35 and you still have a hairline, you should be very happy. Mr.
That's true.
Justin,
That is true. Dude, I started losing my hair.
really? You
So
have a
like
really good hair.
dude, I don't know what it is. I don't think it might have been stress.
Yeah,
But
true.
like since I've started my business, my hair started to grow back.
Yeah,
And my hairline's like
beautiful.
coming.
Beautiful sharpness.
Yeah, man.
I'm like 10% Filipino based off of the lighting. So, but guys, man, we have missed you. We've been away for a while, but we really want to give you some information on some basics so you can understand in your career certain things that you need to do because there's so much information out there. Some of it good, some of it bad, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we want to make sure that we provide you with the right information. So this episode, we're really going to dedicate to the wrist portion of it. The main question a lot of guys tell me, man, where do I even start? Do I go to Walmart? Do I go to Target? Do I go to Banana Republic get a watch? What is a good place for a guy? He's doing well. He's got his career started.
Mhm.
What's a good place to buy his starter watch?
Well, first off, I think one of the reasons that makes me a good person to ask this question is that I have dealt with all the different price points when it comes to watches. I started selling Seiko and Bulova and Michael Kors, and then obviously worked my way up into the ultra complicated watches and everything in between. However, I guess it depends on the budget, right? What budget are we talking?
Okay, let's say the average guy who's doing pretty good. He says, you know what? I got 2 grand to play with. I want to kind of see what's out there. What store? What would you suggest? What place would you go? Regular store, retail, like Walmart, my Macy's. Where would
Yeah.
you tell them to go?
So if you go retail and you want that like full brand experience, that's what you're gonna get, right? Like if you want like a Tag Heuer and you want to go to the boutique and experience, the hospitality and
So
all of
explain
that.
that. What's the difference? So I'm going to Macy's, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to the watch counter. What's the difference in experience? Then I'm curious about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Well, so that's actually a good question because in Macy's, well, certain Macy's, you can actually pick up a Tag Heuer as well. Tag Heuer is a great entry level luxury watch brand, Swiss made, and they start at around $1,000. You can go to Macy's, and they are an authorized dealer,
Okay.
and you can buy Tag Heuer at the retail price.
Okay.
If you go to the Tag Heuer boutique, they're the official timekeeper for F1. So it's the ambiance, racing inspired, very um, you know younger demographic, I would say.
Do they give snacks? I'm curious.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Snacks typically,
What?
like
Okay.
chocolates,
Yeah.
and like things like that.
Chocolates?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
So Macy's, maybe I might get some expertise to a degree, but the experience is it like light years different?
Macy's, you might not even get that.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
might not even get that. I mean, I was different because when I came into Macy's, I just had just like this drive and this passion for watches already. Like all the little mini parts and
Yeah.
all the gears and all that.
Yeah.
That really uh, excited me to learn more about watches. But the big difference is going to be the knowledge that the sales professional is giving you. You might get that at Macy's, the ambiance. At Macy's, I'll say that they'll probably give you a discount.
Okay.
I remember we used to discount them all the time. I don't know if they're still doing that. But when you go to these boutiques, they're not going to give discounts.
Okay. At all. Like, give me chocolate. That's a discount right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Nice. So chocolates, maybe some snacks, more knowledgeable, possibly, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be higher standard there. Talk about for that $2,000 price. What type of how they're going to just hand it to me in a bag and say have a good day, or well, how did it break? So you purchased it, like the fitting. Explain that because I have a skinny wrist. Like explain to
Yeah.
the whole process. So I'm coming into the store. What happens
So
in a boutique situation?
So you walk in, going back to what you were just saying about knowledge, right? What is interesting about the watch world, and this is happening in all the fields too, cars even. Most of the clients that walk in, they already know everything about the watch that they want. They've
Oh,
done
really?
research.
Okay.
Not all the time, but 9 times out of 10. But if let's say you go in and you have no idea what you want. You kind of want to break it down into lifestyle,
Okay.
where you're going to wear it to. Are you wearing it to work? Are you going to wear it to the golf course? So if you want something that you're going to wear every single day, probably take it in the water,
Okay.
From the beach to the boardroom, so to speak.
Okay. Okay.
You probably want something maybe with a stainless steel bracelet. Trying to think into the Tag Heuer line. You can get a Formula One in stainless steel.
Oh wow. Okay.
Quartz movement, meaning it's battery powered. Probably like from $1,000 to $1,500.
Okay.
All in. It's a great watch.
Hmm.
But I think it really boils down to style.
Okay.
And which way you're heading in that direction.
So let's profile our customer. Let's do a profile real quick.
Sure.
We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, the banking capital of the world.
Okay.
So young guy, he got his first opportunity in the banking field. He's starting. Maybe let's just say he could be a possibly like an associate level or something of that nature, making about $125 base salary with commission and everything. He might be up close to 200, but he's doing pretty good for his first foray into the finance world.
Okay.
He loves the golf. He's going off to the golf. There's so many golf courses where we live here. Even where we live is like literally a golf course, not too far away. So he's golf course, and so he will be networking with other banking professionals.
Okay.
In that situation, he's with other banking professionals. He's going to be on the golf course, and he's always suited and booted. And if he's not suited and booted, it's a sport coat with a pocket square or no tie, even if he's networking event. So would you still suggest a Tag Heuer, or would you say something else?
Tag Heuer is good, but let's go through some of the beginning luxury brands. Tag Heuer is great. Longines is great as well.
Okay.
You can do Tudor, which we mentioned in the previous episode. Tudor, yeah. I mean, again, I'm biased. I'm going to keep saying this, but if you want to watch under $5,000, Tudor is 100% the best way.
Yeah. And would you suggest what type of band for this finance guy? He's always dressed up. What type of band would you suggest to him?
Like you can do like a nice leather strap, perhaps. Like going back to Tag Heuer, you can get it's called a Carrera chronograph. I believe it's like 1887.
Okay.
Great movement, chronograph movement, in-house, but it's a mixture of a dressier watch with a nice alligator leather strap,
yes.
which is
different
really
colors,
nice.
like black,
I
brown.
believe they do different colors.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a stainless steel, nice dressy case, but it gives it that sportier look with the chronograph functionality.
Phenomenal. Love it. Okay, that's a phenomenal question. So we know the experience is going to be better in the boutique.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get catered to in a different way.
Yep.
And for a man like him who's busy, he's got all types of things going on, he wants the best experience possible. So he's going to go into there.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
So now he's bought his watch. Now he gets home. He's had a long day of work. Did you suggest that these guys sleep in the watches? What do you got? What is a real guy who loves? What does he do?
So there's a few different ways you can go. There's actually 3 accessories that I recommend for all.
Go by all means.
Watch guys,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, this doesn't really apply if you only have one watch.
Okay.
But if you have multiple watches, you should have a watch stand.
Okay, watch stand. Okay.
Which goes on your bedside. It's a nice like marble mount with a leather pad, and it just sits right onto the stand, and it's easy access right by your bedside.
Phenomenal.
You should do a travel case.
Okay.
So when you're traveling, you can put in a nice leather travel pouch, put it in your suitcase, safe and secure, you're good to go. And then you can also get a larger suitcase style, which can hold 10 to 15 watches, and you have your entire collection stored in one.
Nice.
But if you have one watch, I do recommend at least getting a leather pouch, right, and just storing it away safely. It's kind of similar to cars in a way, right? Like if you're driving a Porsche, you want to park it in the garage, right? If you have a really nice watch, you don't want to just throw it on the counter or into a drawer. You want to treat it with reverence, treat it with respect, and because it's also a very expensive product that we don't really need, right? Because we all have our iPhones.
Yeah.
But it's important to take care of your watches, especially if it's a nicer watch.
Yeah. So sleep in it or not?
Some people sleep in it. I personally don't. It's just uncomfortable to me. But I've spoken to many clients who
They sleep in there. What?
They
It's like sleeping with your socks on. I cannot sleep with socks on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's like my feet are in the headlock, and, and I gotta get them out of the headlock. Okay, so it's either or.
It's either or. I mean, in my opinion, you're probably sort of a strange person if you're wearing it to sleep, but
Okay.
you know, no judgment here.
No judgment. Hey, it's whatever floats your boat, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of guys will say, "Man, I can just go on Amazon and get a watch for like $50."
Yep.
No one will know the difference. But the reality is, me and you and I've operated in with high performers. We know
Mhm.
when you're in an expertise that champions paying attention, it champions being very detail oriented. A
Mhm.
person, there's certain things that people have a thing about. So for me, the color of your shoes, are they shined correctly? Your pants, are they too baggy? Are they too thin? Are they too, this or that? These are small things that's professional, because when you get to this level of success, attention to detail is extremely important in all that you do.
Mhm.
Even my barber, I'm very particular about certain things that he does and how he does it.
Mhm.
And even with you, attention to detail is very important, right?
It is. 100%.
And so what I would suggest to them is, those who know do know, right?
Yep. No, yeah, that is true. You can definitely you can go buy a Timex for $50.
Okay.
You know, what's funny about a $50 Timex that not a lot of people know. If you're a watch guy, you probably know this, but a quartz movement, also known as just a battery powered watch, it could be a $50 Timex, it could be a $25 kids watch.
Okay.
A quartz movement is going to be more accurate than even the most expensive Patek Philippe,
Okay.
Rolex, Audemars Piguet out there. In 1970, there was something called the quartz crisis,
Okay.
where the Japanese released, the Seikos, and quartz movements were all the rage, and Swiss watches almost became extinct because of the quartz watch, because it's more accurate. And some people were thinking, why would I spend thousands of dollars, or back then hundreds of dollars, on these expensive watches when I can just go buy a cheaper watch for $20. But with that being said, if from my personal experience, if I'm wearing a nice watch, especially if it's like in a business meeting, people treat you differently if you have a nice watch. Especially if you're speaking with the executives, all those guys love watches. Every single person I've spoken to that is in an executive level, higher upper management level, everyone loves watches. And if I was to sit in front of them, it doesn't matter if I'm wearing a Tag Heuer, they'll at least look at it, and this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be an expensive, ultra rich,
Yeah.
gold watch or anything like that.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing, gentlemen. What we're trying to do is, when you get to the upper echelons of success, and I've learned this too. It's always the little details, because no doubt in your career, in their careers, and leadership is watching the small details. As an example, I've been in sales for over 15 years. Are you following up with correct notes? And when you follow up, can we read your notes? Are your notes legible? If I was a leader and I wanted to see if you are working on your pipeline, because I've come from tech sales, does it give me the correct picture of where this opportunity is going? And if we're doing our weekly cadence meetings, I don't want to have to be going through your stuff like it's almost impossible, like it's jibber jabber. So in careers at this level, these small details matter, because if you're wrong on the projections, then the shareholders and other people are held accountable because of the projections. So those small details on your side lead to the larger organizational issues. And so in the same way, like you said, they appreciate watches because the craftsmanship, the smaller things, like the attention to detail, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I have a question for you. Just popped up in my mind. If I go to these Tag Heuers or tutor place, and I want to get my watch cleaned, do they have those type of services? Like, how
They do.
can I get it serviced? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
So you can walk into any of these boutiques, get your watch steam cleaned. I highly recommend it. If you need to clean your watch at your house, I always recommend just like warm water and dish soap. Obviously, don't use that if you have a leather band, but if you have purchased a watch from any of these larger boutiques, you can just take your watch back to them and they'll steam clean it. It takes a few minutes.
No cost.
No cost. Bring it back out and it looks brand new.
Phenomenal. And why do you recommend steam cleaning? How often would you say? Every 6 months? Every year? Once a year?
I guess it depends on how dirty your watch is. I would say just whenever you're in the mall, just stop by, the local store and just have them steam clean.
Love that. Take care of your stuff, gentlemen.
Yep.
I would say the same thing with your dress shoes. You know, there's places like a Nordstrom or a Saks Fifth Avenue where they might even have a person that does shoe shining, or they may have a person that specifically does that. Um, the art of having your shoes perfectly, no scratches. No one wants to go to a meeting. You're rushing out of the house and you see that scratch. You know it's scratched. You ever felt that?
Oh yeah.
It's like, and it's funny because I'm so clumsy. It was perfect before I got into my car. And by the time I got into my car, I kicked something or hit something, and it's like, oh. So your shoes should be shined. They should look new. They shouldn't be creased. They shouldn't be cracked. Have for me, and we'll have an episode specifically about shoe care. But you want to have a shoe tree, specifically cedarwood, because cedarwood takes that smell that our feet have, all of our feet have, and is able to. It's a natural deodorizer, and even with bacteria. So you want your shoes that's not stink and smell, right? And you also want to prevent those. You don't want your shoes to look like the witch of the West from the Wicked movie. Okay, you don't want it to look like that. Shoe leather skin. It needs to be moisturized. It needs to, just like your skin. It's wintertime, man.
Yep.
We're gonna get ashy. We're gonna get cracked. So we have to make
Don't
sure.
want that.
We got to moisturize our shoes. We have to weatherize those shoes, and it's truly a lost art.
Yes.
And as a professional, you need to have the mentality where the small details lead to big checks.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, with shoes, I've noticed if I spend more money on shoes, they last much longer. You know, you take care of them, obviously. They start to fit and feel better over the years.
As you break them in, yeah.
As you break them in, like I have a couple pairs of, I think Florsheim is really good.
Yeah.
That I've had for years that I absolutely love. But yeah, definitely I recommend spending a little bit more on your shoes as opposed to just buying some like Calvin Klein.
Yes, the boxy joint.
Calvin Klein's, Marshalls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
And we'll have an episode specifically. We'll break down shoes, the construction of shoes. We'll get really surgical.
Oh, great.
I'm going to bring out the notepad, guys. There's going to be a running joke where Lee's bringing out the notepad because we're going to really break down the construction, the welting style, the type of materials, and also shoe care, how you can get the heels replaced. On high-level shoes, when you flip them over, you'll see these things. They look almost like nails because a good cobbler can remove the heel and replace the heel. That's a dying art as well. Cities like New York, San Francisco, to Dallas, Houston, even maybe in Charlotte, there may be some cobblers, but a good quality shoe could last you 20 years.
Yeah.
Whereas a shoe that you buy for maybe you go to, DSW, TJ Maxx, you will have it a year and a half. The heel is gone. It's uncomfortable. You'll start seeing the seams fall apart. It'll just be deformed. So as you continue to get successful and push further in your career, remember, small details equal big checks, right? So that's the mentality you want to have. One more question, and then we'll finish up this episode, specifically talking about watches. How do I know if a watch will last years or not just fall apart in a few months? What are some key indicators of design quality?
Yeah. So, you know, also to kind of bring your final question or your previous question in, you also mentioned servicing. I definitely recommend getting a watch that can be serviced. You know, so that's why I think a lot of these mechanical watches, I mean, it's not a dying art, but it's 100% an art, right? But, you know, like a lot of these Swiss movements, you can bring them to watchmakers. They'll disassemble them.
Oh, really?
They'll disassemble, replace any worn parts, you know, lubricate all necessary components, and keep the watch running just forever, essentially.
Yeah.
Like I have some clients that have their great grandfather's Rolexes from early 1900s, and they're still keeping great time.
I heard there were really big demand for 1930s, 1940s Rolex. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, for anything vintage is very collectible, especially in the watch world. Not just Rolex, but vintage Pateks and APs and different brands like that are extremely collectible and valuable.
Wow. So, folks, we've learned quite a bit about watches. We'll even do more deep dives and talk about the history of them and things. But the whole idea for Wrist and Wardrobe is to provide young professionals who are ambitious, who are working hard, putting in the time, these details that you may not get from two professionals who have over 30 years combined in the industry, from luxury clothing, wardrobes, my side, and luxury watching and jewelry on your side. So we truly do hope that you find value. Love to see your comments. Ask us questions, send us comments so that we can help answer those questions as we continue to scale. And the production quality is going to keep getting better. And we're going to see more than just these three flowers. And we might even go out in different places and talk to guys who are big watch fanatics. So you can kind of get the mind of folks who are high level successful men in this who love watches as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, folks, we thank you for coming on with us. What a great episode. We look forward to giving you more good content, and we look forward to seeing you soon. So we're out.